If you've recently bought a PlayStation 5, or you're planning to, one of the biggest questions you'll face is choosing the right TV. The PS5 is a powerhouse capable of delivering stunning 4K graphics, ultra-smooth gameplay, and incredibly realistic visuals. But here's the catch. Your gaming experience will only be as good as the screen you play on. Links to the best TVs for PS5 are in the description below. And that brings us to one of the most debated topics among gamers today. OLED TV or QLED TV for PS5? Which one is actually better? Let's break it down in simple terms so you can decide which is the best choice for your setup, your gaming style, and your budget. First, let's talk about what really matters for PS5 gaming. The console is designed to support 4K resolution, 120Hz refresh rates, HDR visuals, and fast response times. That means the ideal TV should have HDMI 2.1 support, low input lag, smooth motion handling, and strong contrast. Both OLED and QLED TVs can meet many of these requirements, but they do so in very different ways. Let's start with OLED TVs. OLED stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode, and the biggest advantage of this technology is that each pixel produces its own light. This means OLED TVs can turn individual pixels completely off, creating perfect blacks and incredible contrast. When you're playing dark games, like horror titles, stealth adventures, or cinematic story-driven games, this makes a massive difference. Shadows look truly black instead of gray, night scenes feel more realistic, and bright highlights pop dramatically against dark backgrounds. The overall image looks extremely cinematic and immersive, which is why many gamers describe OLED as the premium visual experience. Another huge advantage of OLED TVs for PS5 is their response time. OLED panels are extremely fast, meaning motion blur is minimal. Fast-paced games like shooters, racing games, and competitive multiplayer titles look incredibly smooth and responsive. Input lag is also usually very low, which is critical if you care about precise controls. However, OLED is not perfect. One of the biggest concerns people have is burn-in risk. While modern OLED TVs have improved a lot, the possibility still exists if static images, like HUD elements or scoreboards, stay on the screen for extremely long periods. For most gamers, this is rarely an issue, but it's something to keep in mind if you play the same game for many hours daily. Another limitation of OLED TVs is brightness. While they look amazing in darker rooms, they typically don't get as bright as QLED TVs. If you game in a very bright living room with lots of sunlight, OLED may sometimes appear slightly dim. Now let's move on to QLED TVs. LED stands for Quantum Dot LED, and its biggest strength is brightness. QLED TVs can get extremely bright, often much brighter than OLED. This makes them perfect for gaming during the day or in rooms with lots of natural light. Colors stay vibrant, details remain visible, and the image doesn't get washed out. OLED TVs also deliver excellent color volume. Games look very vivid, colorful, and eye-catching. Explosions feel intense, environments look lively, and overall visuals appear bold and dynamic. Many gamers love this punchy look, especially in action-heavy games. Another major advantage of QLED is durability. Unlike OLED, QLED TVs do not have burn-in risk. You can leave static elements on screen for hours without worrying about permanent image retention. This makes QLED especially appealing for competitive gamers, streamers, or anyone who plays long sessions regularly. Modern QLED TVs also support key PS5 features like 120Hz refresh rate, HDMI 2.1, and variable refresh rate, so they can absolutely deliver smooth gameplay. But QLED TVs also have some downsides. Because they use a backlight instead of self-lit pixels, they can't achieve the same perfect blacks as OLED. In dark scenes, black areas may appear slightly gray, and contrast is not as precise. Some higher-end QLED models use local dimming to improve this, but they still don't quite match OLED's contrast performance. So which one is actually better for PS5 gaming? The answer depends on your priorities. If you want the absolute best picture quality, perfect blacks, cinematic visuals, and ultra-fast response time, OLED is generally considered the top choice. It's especially ideal if you game in a dim room and love immersive single-player experiences. On the other hand, if you prefer very bright screens, vibrant colors, no burn-in concerns, and strong performance in well-lit environments, QLED can be the better option. It's often more affordable too, making it a great value choice. In simple terms, you can think of it this way. OLED focuses on realism and contrast, while QLED focuses on brightness and vibrancy. There's also one more important factor: your budget. OLED TVs usually cost more, especially in larger sizes. QLED TVs tend to offer a wider range of prices, from budget-friendly models to premium options. For many gamers, the best decision comes down to where and how they play. If you game mostly at night, love story-driven titles, and want the most cinematic visuals possible, OLED is hard to beat. If you play during the day, enjoy competitive games, and want a bright, durable screen, QLED is an excellent choice. At the end of the day, both technologies are fantastic for PS5 gaming. The good news is you really can't go wrong with either one. It's just about choosing the one that matches your personal gaming style. So before you buy your next TV, ask yourself one simple question. Do you want perfect contrast and cinematic immersion, or maximum brightness and vibrant punch? Your answer will tell you exactly whether OLED or QLED is the best choice for your PS5 setup.